I don't know. Hangout is live. Hello, everyone. This is going to be a Comic-Con movie news podcast. Me and one of my friends, we wanted to do this, and we're like, hey, let's just broadcast and talk about Comic-Con news today, because a shit ton of stuff dropped. I'm the Outcut Prodigy, Dylan. I'll be the host, and then my co-host today is Jackson. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Jackson, or Fisher Jax. That's it.
Okay. So we're gonna start off with we're gonna do it by company. We're gonna start off with the Warner Brothers. Before we go into Comic-Con, we're just gonna talk about how Chris Terrio is in talks to pen the Justice League script. I think this is only a good thing. This can't. I don't know how this can be looked at as a negative thing. He wrote Argo, which won Best Picture.
Yeah, it's the best thing that happened in the movie, in my opinion, because David S. Goyer would have ruined everything.
Yeah, David S. Goyer would have, David S. Goyer, I say every week on Movie Backlog Podcast, Man of Steel is a fantastic story if it's written on, a napkin, as in an outline. And then he ran into a script, and he can't write. And then it was like, shit. I still love the movie, but I can look past its faults while others can't.
Mm-hmm.
But, so, Warner Brothers comes in with their Comic-Con panel. They go first on Saturday, if I remember correctly. And they know what we all want to see. They just come out and give us Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice footage and pictures. And first of all, they showed us a teaser trailer with Batman and Superman. And Batman is wearing the Dark Knight Returns metal suit. He has the bat signal, shows it up, or unveils the bat signal. It pans up to the bat signal, and you're like, oh, that's a cool logo. And then Superman appears, and they have a stare down, and Superman's red eyes, Batman's bluish eyes start lighting up, and it's a stare down. And then, boom, we get the logo. This was the coolest thing I probably saw at Comic-Con.
Yeah, this is by far my favorite thing that I've heard or seen. It was so badass.
I mean, when I read it, I was like, nothing will beat this. And then pictures leaked, and I was like, nothing will beat this. And then the freaking footage leaked, which usually takes like a month for Comic-Con footage to surface anywhere. But this was the day of. Someone was like, I'm going to get sued. I don't care. I'm going to do it for the fans. I'm going to upload the Comic-Con footage. It is up, and oh my god, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
And then they go, I don't know if they really topped it with the Wonder Woman news, but they come out, and then you see Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, and Gal Gadot come out, and they're the new DC Trinity, first time ever together, at least publicly. So they get their pictures taken, and then they reveal the Wonder Woman costume, and personally, I love the new Wonder Woman costume. I think it's fantastic.
It's great. It's way better than I imagined.
Yeah. If I were to have a complaint, maybe have her not wear heels, but Catwoman wore heels, and she was still an awesome character in Dark Knight Rises.
I think it will be fine. I don't think they're really going to be showing the camera on the heels at all,
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It is Zack Snyder. He did direct Sucker Punch.
Never saw it.
You never saw it? You should probably keep it that way. I don't hate the movie, but it's bad. But I think the costume looks awesome. I was expecting it to look really cartoony, because you look at the Wonder Woman costume in a comic book, and you're like, that looks stupid.
Yeah.
At least I've always thought that.
With all the bright colors, it just,
Yeah,
the top.
but they made it more dark, and it's like, instead of like red and blue, it's like gold and yellow. Or I guess the same color, like gold and
bronze.
Tannish? Bronze, yeah. Which I when I saw it, it's currently my phone background already, because I'm like, I'm sorry, Attack on Titan. I recently got into you, and I love you, but this is new footage. This is new Batman v Superman footage. It has to be my phone background. It's been that every single time they've announced any picture of this thing. I'm so excited for this movie. This is my most anticipated movie of 2016. Is it for you as well?
I don't know what other movies are coming out in 2016 right now. So, but yeah, I
don't
guess
know.
this.
Captain America 3. I know, because they come out on the same day.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm more excited for this than that. Even though I think that will be a fantastic movie.
Better.
Yeah, probably. I don't know, but I think this will be super fun.
Yeah. So I'm on the position that I think that they're both gonna stay on that day because they don't want to play a game of chicken. They'll play a game of chicken, but I think they're both gonna stay. Do you think that they're both gonna stay on the May 4th, 2016 date?
I highly doubt it. I think it would be a bad choice for both studios, and I think one of them will definitely move. I don't know which one though. So.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's a terrible move if they both stay, but I just want that double feature. I want it to be the midnight premiere. One half the theater is DC, one half the theater is Marvel. They're shouting matches across the sides of the theater. And they have to decide which one's gonna play at 12:01, and which one's gonna play at 12:02, and which one gets that IMAX theater at midnight, because they're both gonna be in IMAX.
Oh. Yeah, there's no way that's happening. But yeah, that would have
been. Well then, Dawn of Justice, it looks amazing. And then some other stuff we saw, or I guess we didn't see, neither of us are in San Diego right now, but the people in Hall H saw Mad Max Fury Road. They finally got some footage of that, and I'm going to read off the synopsis I found online from schmozno.com. It starts with a post-apocalyptic world, naturally, and we slowly take in a man standing with his back to us. As he turns, it's revealed to be Tom Hardy as Max next to his car. A two-headed lizard walks near his foot, and Max smashes it with his foot. Something roars in the distance and startles Max. He grabs his things and jumps in the car, driving off into the wasteland. He is followed by a bunch of mutant-looking mother effers. And they give chase, ultimately catching Mad Max and throwing him in a prison like no prison you've ever seen. A weird-looking dude with a gas mask of sorts, metal tubing snaking down his nose, long hair, and sounding like a classic villain looks and talks to Max in the prison. We cut to Charlize Theron, sporting a crazy-looking metal arm. She looks ragged, yet tough as nails. Her eyes tortured, yet full of rage and ready to fight. Cut to a badass chase scene that rips and roars over the wasteland. They head right into the biggest sandstorm we've ever seen. Tornadoes and lightning strikes everywhere, in Max's control. He's ripping his car through the fury. Bodies and cars are flying everywhere. Max looks to be outnumbered when out of nowhere Charlize Theron roars in and saves him. The trailer ends with Charlize asking who his name is. Or what his name is. We close in on Tom Hardy's face as we slam to credits. Mad Max Fury Road. And this, along with the previously mentioned interview, and not previously mentioned in this podcast, but they mentioned a couple weeks ago how it's basically like a 2-hour-long chase, is what the movie is.
Well, that's kind of cool.
I'm so excited for this movie, which I never thought I'd say that, because it has been in production hell for like 3 years or something, and I'm like, it can't be good. And then you hear all this, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so excited.
Yeah, like all the costumes and all the grittiness just look great, and it's definitely gone up higher on my list.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to see this. It comes out 2015, which I guess there's another big blockbuster movie I'm really hyping up for myself coming out in 2015.
Basically
that year. Although that year is not as crazy as it once was, because Batman v Superman got delayed and so did Finding Dory and stuff like that. But we still have Star Wars and Avengers. Like, holy god.
I think that's enough.
Yeah. Next up, Warner Brothers, they didn't announce. They finally showed off some footage of The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies. But before we get into that, there was a poster that was released earlier this week. And personally, I love this poster. I know it's the general person standing with their back turned to the audience looking at something really cool. But it's really cool!
It is. It's with smog in the background. It's just like an amazing poster. I want it.
And isn't it Bard, the Bardsman or whatever, or
Yeah,
whatever his name is, the guy standing there? Yeah, I, I liked it. I like the Hobbit movies. I don't like. I'm really excited for this one. I was kind of excited for Desolation. I was kind of excited for uh, Unexpected Journey. This one I'm really excited about just because it'll probably like a 2.5 hour action scene.
yeah, just wars, just a
Yeah,
lot of battles. Yeah, I'm definitely more
yeah.
excited for this one than the second one. I mean,
Oh
this
yeah,
one.
especially after the first one wasn't that great.
I like the first one, but the second one I had quite a few more problems with, which is kind of the opposite of
Hmm.
a lot of people who thought the second one
Yeah,
was.
I really liked the second one the second time I saw it, but that was because during the bullshit love story, I got up and left and refilled my popcorn, and then came back. I'm like, hell yeah, here's some more smoke. I
I should
don't
have.
care about the dwarf trying to get laid. I could care less about that.
Yeah,
But we have some footage, and I'm gonna read it off. All these footage synopses are from schmozno.com. That's where I got all this news. Uh, It opens on a majestic shot of Smog flying in out of nowhere and laying waste with fire to the river town. The town seems to have been evacuated by now. We were then treated to a ton of action shots intercut repeatedly, getting cooler and cooler. Dwarves fighting orcs, Bilbo running all over the place with dwarves, and a declaration from Thorin that he wants war. Many shots follow with people preparing for battle, snatching up weapons and supplies, a dark tone, frantic. It's a battle they want, a battle we're going to get kind of montage. Cut to the white orc slashing and fighting his way through people, intercut with a shot of Gandalf looking hurt and defeated. It all comes to a head when Thorin looks to Bilbo and reaches out his hand. Join me, Bilbo. Smash to the title, The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies. What's your thoughts on the description of the footage?
sounds pretty cool. I like it. It's probably going to be a lot more awesome when we actually get to see it. But
Probably. I'm gonna avoid this though, because I do not want to see all the best action shots of the movie. I want to just walk in and be like, "Oh, this is so cool," because I haven't read The Hobbit. All I know is like the obvious stuff of what happens in The Hobbit. Although let's be honest, the Hobbit trilogy is not an adaptation of The Hobbit, like in any way, really. Besides, they follow a very small part of they follow the book, but instead of adding on, they add on a ton. Like I read somewhere that the so the Hobbit animated movie tells the entire story of the Hobbit book in an hour and 17 minutes, only cutting out one scene.
oh my
And then the
god,
Hobbit trilogy will be like 9.5 hours. When it comes to the extended editions.
yeah,
Like,
I read
go
yeah
ahead.
I read the first 100 pages of The Hobbit. Like it takes place in it's the first movie basically, and
Hmm.
everything was 100 times faster. Like they would have one scene that took like 10 minutes in the movie was one sentence in the book, and there was like three of those.
Yeah. Radagast, is that his name? He's mentioned literally one line of dialogue, and they make him a main character in the movies.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I think this, if you're gonna look at the Hobbit movies, and they're way better than the Star Wars prequel trilogy. But even the Star Wars prequel trilogy, at least Revenge of the Sith had some really cool action scenes, so maybe that's what Battle of the Five Armies could be.
yeah. There's
Just
definitely going to be some cool action scenes. I guarantee
yeah.
it.
Plus, it's Peter Jackson who just loves his CGI now, so we'll get to see a CGI Smaug fighting, I don't know, CGI Bilbo at one point. I bet he'll find a way. Uh, so I think it's obvious, but out of the Warner Brothers panel, what was the thing that excited you the most?
The Batman v Superman footage, by far.
Yeah, same. I saw the footage and I was like, guys, why do I have to wait 2 years? Why can't you just come right now?
Yeah.
I'm so excited for that movie. Well, next, we're gonna cover Disney slash Marvel Studios, which I want to say, although I love what they did, I'm kind of disappointed with the presentation. They showed off, I guess, really cool Avengers footage, but they had locked down like 5 or 6 dates this past week and didn't announce anything besides one movie that was announced yesterday.
Which was Guardians of the Galaxy
Guardians
2?
2.
Okay. Okay.
But
And they got a date for it, right?
yeah, 2017, like July or something. Let's start with Ant-Man. Sorry, I got a little bit off topic. Paul Rudd, Michael Douglas came out. We know it's gonna be like a heist movie but I always thought that it's gonna be Paul Rudd will steal the suit from Michael Douglas, and apparently that's not the case. Apparently it's gonna
It's the
be
opposite, right?
Michael Douglas will be helping Paul Rudd. From what I
Wait,
gathered.
really? Wait,
That's what I saw.
Isn't he the bad guy?
No, no. Michael Douglas is playing Hank Pym, I think. I think that's his name. I'm not a Marvel comic guy. I just love the cinematic universe. And then Paul Rudd's playing the other Ant-Man. That's gonna be the Ant-Man MCU. And the villain of the movie is gonna be played by Corey Stoll from House of Cards. He will be playing Yellow Jacket. I saw a picture of Yellow Jacket from the comics, and he looked cool, so I'll buy it from that. And we have Evangeline Lilly from the Hobbit trilogy, or from
And
the
Lost.
Hobbit Desolation of Smaug, and Lost. I haven't seen Lost. Is gonna be playing Michael Douglas's daughter, I think. Let me double check this, but she's
I don't
playing
know.
someone that will eventually become the Wasp, which is expected because Joss Whedon loves the Wasp and he wanted him in Avengers, and they're like, no, you need to include Black Widow, and he was like, okay.
Yeah, I really like Evangeline Lilly, so I'm excited for her, in the movie.
Paul Rudd's playing Scott Lang. Yeah, it's his name. This is a really poorly written article. I'm just not gonna look at this anymore.
It's not that important. She's just the female lead, so.
Yeah. I think the cast is still really good. Hopefully Peyton Reed can do something with it. I'm still excited because it's a Marvel movie, and I will never be not excited for a Marvel movie. That's about it. But then they finally had the big draw. They have Avengers: Age of Ultron. They had a ton of the cast. I think the only person that wasn't there was Scarlett Johansson. She's pregnant. She wasn't there, but everyone else was there. They even had the new people, and Aaron Taylor Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen, and some other people showed up that we'll get to later. I'm just going to describe the Avengers footage they showed. This one's really long, so prepare yourself. The trailer opens with all the Avengers partying at Stark Tower, now Avengers Tower, and Thor throws down his hammer on the table and asks if any of the Avengers can pick it up. So what do? They try and pick it up. Tony and Rhodey try on their Iron Man hands, and that doesn't work. Venom pretends to Hulk out, but he doesn't, and he too can't pick up the hammer. But Cap gets it slightly off the table when suddenly a horrible buzzing takes the scene. All the Avengers cover their ears and look off in the distance. A ragged, beaten up, and once destroyed Iron Man suit is lumbering at them. Very weird, very freaky. It's Ultron. You humans think you are so special. You are nothing but killers, and I will take you down. Blammo. Ultron sends hundreds of remote-powered Iron Man suits at our heroes. As we cut to the major action, scene by scene, the most epic action we've seen so far this Comic-Con, mind you. The world has going crazy because of Ultron. All the Avengers are struggling to survive, and it doesn't look good for our heroes when suddenly, blammo again, the Hulkbuster suit, fully formed and realized, takes on Hulk. A Hulkbuster throws a car at Hulk, who is mighty pissed for some reason, and Hulk just smashes the car into pieces. After a major roar from Hulk, we cut to more shots of the world, humans in peril. A Hydra tank is taken out by Thor. I guess Hydra is in it. And then at the end of the trailer, Ultron turns to the camera. You are all puppets on strings, but I have no strings. Blammo, title treatment, Avengers, Age of Ultron. And after we slowly reveal a desolate wasteland, we see Thor's hand reaching for his hammer, Tony Stark trying to move in his ripped apart Iron Man suit. Cap's shield is broken in half, the team is down, and as we pull back we see that all the Avengers are trapped on some weird wasteland surrounded by stars. Are they in space? I bet that means ... Thanos.
It's interesting. I hadn't heard that before, and that was quite.
Honestly, like, if this is, I'm gonna assume this is all true. It makes my Who Won Comic-Con thing between DC and Marvel really tough. Because I'm a huge Batman fan. I'm wearing my Batman shirt right now, but holy Jesus, they showed a lot of Avengers Age of Ultron.
Yeah,
like,
I want to. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I want to see the footage first, but it's probably amazing just with all the, with like the Hulk the Iron Man versus the Hulk stuff, and with the big suit. What's it called again? I don't know.
Hulkbuster.
It is the Hulkbuster, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's
stuff
not
like that.
the suit from Iron Man 3 that everyone thought was the Hulkbuster, and they trolled us with it. Nope. Not that guy. They have a legitimate Hulkbuster this time, and Hulk's pissed for whatever reason, which probably, hopefully it'll be explained, but God, Joss Whedon didn't explain how the hell the Hulk could control his powers in the first film. He said, I'm always angry. It doesn't explain jack shit, okay? But I forgave him because it was a cool shot when he destroyed everything, and it was like Hulk smash, and Hulk's like, and just went and smashed it, and I was like, this is why I wanted to see the movie. But I don't know, they're probably setting up Planet Hulk, World War Hulk. I hope that's the route they're gonna go with the Hulkbuster stuff. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about right now with between Planet Hulk and World War Hulk.
I've heard about it.
You've heard about it. I'm vaguely familiar with the storylines. I know like what the premises are, and if they were to do this, it would be so epic. And then after, probably one of the things that made me freak out, even though we all knew this was gonna happen, when I saw the picture, I went, was after they played the Avengers trailer. Josh Brolin came out, who's playing Thanos, wearing the Infinity Gauntlet. I was like, it is now 100% confirmed. Phase 3 will be Infinity Gauntlet. We all knew that was what it was going to be. They teased it in the first Thor film, for crying out loud. You can see the Infinity Gauntlet in the background. But it's just cool that they are like, we have a plan, we know what we're doing, and we're fucking Disney Marvel, so we can do whatever we want, and everyone will love it, because we always turn out a good product, like 95% of the time. Iron Man 3 was bad.
And Iron Man 2.
That is true.
And the Thor movies.
No,
But that's
I
just my
will
opinion.
draw the line there. I actually really enjoy both Thor movies. I like Thor 2 better than the first one. And then we only got really one announcement but it was leaked yesterday, so we already knew this was gonna happen. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was announced before the first film is even out worldwide. But I'm okay with it because it has gotten great critical reception, and it makes me less worried about its box office.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they've already stuck their necks out there and said there will be a sequel.
And that's awesome. More raccoons in space.
Yeah, plus they could always just use the money that Iron Man 4 will make and donate 20% of it to Guardians, and Marvel won't give a shit. They'll be okay. But although, they snatched up that date, I'm sure Marvel is gonna like have an Iron Man 4 and have that help out for Captain America 3. His losses against Batman vs Superman and Guardians of the Galaxy 2 if it doesn't do well. Like Iron Man 4, solve everything.
Yeah, really.
I'm gonna assume it's safe to say your favorite thing from the Disney Marvel Studios panel was the Age of Ultron trailer.
I guess, was there really anything else? I
Oh
don't even
well,
remember.
oh well. There was an Ant-Man trailer they showed as well.
Oh, okay. Well,
They
I
should
haven't.
show a scene of Ant-Man where it was like it wasn't. It was like Michael Douglas and Paul Rudd are talking, and then Paul Rudd like jumps off something and he lands on an ant.
Oh, okay.
And it
Well,
was
yeah.
like Ant-Man.
I mean, I haven't seen the footage for either, but I mean, Age of Ultron. Yeah.
I'm so excited for Age of Ultron, which I actually like didn't care at all when they announced it last year. I was like, okay, I didn't like care for Avengers, and then like Phase 2, I've just loved so far. Besides Iron Man 3, but I can forgive that because I love Thor: Dark World and Winter Soldier. So now I'm like, and from what I've heard, I'm gonna probably love Guardians. I can't wait for Age of Ultron. It's my most anticipated film of 2015 right now. And then Star Wars, of course, is too, because it's fucking Star Wars.
Star Wars is one.
Not well, we haven't seen anything of Star Wars.
I don't care. It's gonna be better.
I don't know. I don't know. The last movie the Star Wars director made was considered the worst Star Trek film ever by Star Trek fans. Well, we have the next studio who I don't know, like what Legendary announced. I think they are like right there with what DC and Marvel announced today, or Warner Brothers and Disney. They announced Godzilla 2. We were all expecting it. They confirmed Gareth Edwards will return. They had the really cool nod that he's doing Star Wars by saying he's currently preoccupied with a galaxy far, far away. Which means we won't get this until 2018 at the complete earliest, probably 2019, which I'm fine with because I'll be alive then.
I'm not
And I'll see
fine
the
with it.
movie.
I just want to see Godzilla more.
Oh yeah, I mean I wish that he was here and he was gonna do it, but he hasn't. They have to wait a little bit. But I'm surprised they actually announced this like in 2014, because it's just gonna be like so much speculation now
Yeah,
and so much
it
rumors
didn't.
about it.
It didn't make much sense why they announced it that early.
What they should have done is waited for this to be next year, and they should have announced Pacific Rim 2 at Comic Con.
Yeah.
But that's not a big deal. Well, they showed some footage, but that won't be in the movie. But they had Toho has granted more rights to more monsters because they really like the first Godzilla reboot film. And the teases came flying with images of Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah. I don't know who these. I know who these people are by looking at pictures. I'm not a Godzilla fan. If you want full in-depth coverage, I'm sure tomorrow on the Movie Backlog podcast, Alex will give us the full rundown because he's seen like every Godzilla movie like 10 times.
Shit.
Yeah, he is a diehard Godzilla fan, so I'm sure we'll be on this topic for about 10 minutes, which is fine by me because I think it's really cool. Which does confirm, hey guys, Mothra wasn't in the first film, you idiots. It was an Easter egg. I saw so many people say it was like, well, it was basically Mothra. I'm like, it wasn't Mothra.
It was definitely an Easter egg. I don't.
It was an Easter egg. I was like, that's cool. I didn't care beyond that. Well, the footage rolls, and we see an opening just like they did with Godzilla. Government research footage plays with a voiceover saying Monarch is doing research and there are more monsters out there. Tape plays of Godzilla. We see the shadows of some very recognizable monsters they already teased. Yep, we're getting Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah in the next film, and it's tied seemingly to the government. Bad government. We gonna have to bring in Godzilla to save the day again. I'm really excited for this movie. Honestly, when I saw this news, I freaked out. And I'm not even a Godzilla fan. I was just like, we're gonna have those three people in one movie.
Too many villains. Worst movie ever.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, because, X-Men Days of Future Past turned out so fucking terrible because I had three villains in it. We've had this conversation a lot of times, but we both, because whenever they say there's multiple villains, people always bring up Spider-Man 3, but they never bring up uh, Days of Future Past, and they never bring up I mean, like Age of Ultron is gonna have Baron von Stryker, I think that's his name, Thanos potentially, Ultron, and maybe even Loki. That's 4 villains, and people are like, best movie ever. But I don't know. I'm really excited about this. I assume you are as well.
Definitely. I love it.
God, I'm so. I, I, I'm probably a bigger fan of the first Godzilla than most people, just because I saw it a second time and I went in knowing that it wasn't gonna just be monsters fighting each other for a lot, and I thought, well, I liked it a lot more, and I'm really excited about this. And then Legendary's like, and it's like we're not only announcing Godzilla, they're announcing a Skull Island movie, which is basically a new King Kong film.
Yep. Introduction to King Kong. On
It's
his island
it's
stuff.
it's an introduction. Was that confirmed?
I read that in an article that it's like a prequel, like the origins and stuff on the island.
That could be cool. Hopefully it'll explain why King Kong can't get over the fence that the natives build, but he's able to scale the Empire State Building. I'm really excited about this, and it basically, I'm sure their big Comic-Con 2018 announcement will be King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yep, that's gonna happen. 100%
It's already been a
guarantee
movie?
it.
What if the Godzilla 2, like, post-credit scene has King Kong show up?
I wouldn't be surprised because Godzilla 3's. There's a big chance that Godzilla 3 is going to be the King Kong versus Godzilla movie.
I mean, I always thought Godzilla 3 was gonna be King Ghidorah. Cause he's just a crazy mofo. From what I've seen, like looking at him, like watching some fights on YouTube, it's like that guy is crazy. That's who they're gonna use as their like big climax trilogy villain, and they're using like their 3 most profitable villains besides Mechagodzilla in the second film. And I'm not sure how Mechagodzilla would work in this universe, because they would literally be like a Jaeger. Pacific Rim 2, Pacific Rim 3, Godzilla 3, and King Kong 2 all be the same movie. It could happen because Legendary owns the rights to all of them.
Yeah.
And then
I
speaking of Pacific Rim 2, that wasn't talked about at all. But we do have the director of it, Guillermo del Toro, showed off his Charisma Peak footage. This is like his R-rated horror film he's doing. I don't really care about it because I'm not a horror guy, but the fact that Guillermo del Toro is attached makes me a lot more interested.
I mean, I don't know much about it, but I do like him as a director, and I think it could be good. But
yeah, I mean, they showed some footage. The footage was very moody with almost no scares involved, but as seen with this particular tease, you know they are coming. With Tom Hiddleston at the center of all the footage, the movie's main lead, we see shots of the house and the characters all blending together into a beautiful real-life shot of a girl crying in a bed as a shadowy black figure, something ghostly and damn unnerving, wraps his arms around the girl, smashed to black. I'll probably see it because it's Guillermo del Toro, and even if it's a horror film, and I don't care for horror films, I can just look at it as a suspense thriller with a director that I've heard a lot about, but I've only seen Pacific Rim, which I'm not the biggest fan of. But the directing, the direction of that movie is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the script was like terrible.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it. Well, I don't know, it had its moments.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely a really good director. Just not the best one.
Mm-hmm. Was Guillermo del Toro the one that did Pan's Labyrinth?
Yeah, he was, and I would say that's in one of my top films. That's one of my top films ever. So I give him the benefit of the doubt on like Pacific Rim. I'll let it slide by, but Pan's Labyrinth, amazing.
Okay, I will add that to my watch list, which is like 100 movies long at this point. That haven't seen like any classics. And then the ending I thought was noteworthy. Guillermo del Toro looked to the crowd and asked two questions. One, Hellboy 3, and the crowd went bananas. And two, at the Mountains of Madness, and the crowd went bananas. The At the Mountains of Madness is his long development passion project he wants to do. And then Del Toro grins and says, "Good, because they're listening." Now, there's no way in hell Hellboy 3 is gonna happen, I think.
Yeah, he already said that. He said that it's a high possibility it will never happen.
Yeah, I would love to see it, because actually I've seen the first two Hellboys, and I love the first two Hellboy movies. They're fantastic. And I want to see Hellboy 3 really bad. But he says it would need a $200 million budget to do his vision, and the second film made $150 million worldwide. So they're not gonna write you that check.
Nope.
You can kickstart it. That's impossible. You're not gonna kickstart 200 million. He can try, but Hellboy 3 is not happening. At the Mountains of Madness, maybe, but Comic-Con, people go crazy at Comic-Con means jack shit. Kick-Ass people went bananas when Kick-Ass was premiered at Comic-Con. And then you know how much money it made at the box office? Nothing. Got a sequel. And then it got a sequel because DVD sales were so good, and they thought there was potential. And then the sequel came out, and still it got no one cared. Still,
everyone hated it.
It's so
except for us.
Yeah, we liked it a lot. And then everyone hated it. Jeff Wadlow left the Kick-Ass franchise to go do X-Force, which God knows what the hell is going on with that movie. But I don't know. I'll see anything the man does, because I love the Hellboy movies and I like Pacific Rim. And Crimson Peak seems like a pretty good movie. And then I'm not sure they finished off, but I just saw this. And they may finish off their panel with this. The Warcraft movie comes out March 2016. They're the only studio that actually released footage on YouTube. Don't get too happy, because it's a 10-second teaser that shows nothing but the logo.
Damn it.
Yeah, I know. Your hopes got so intense for 5 seconds, didn't they?
Yeah, I guess I didn't know they released that, so I was like, wait, they released something, and then
no
logo, yay.
But this is all stuff we basically know, but whatever, might as well go over it. The movie will deal with how the war began between the orcs and the humans, and the footage had two narrators to it. So the movie is gonna show both sides of the war, which I'm really excited with this. I think it could be very similar to Lord of the Rings. Hopefully it's closer in quality to Lord of the Rings than the Hobbit movies. I have faith in Duncan Jones as a director. And I don't remember who the cast is, but hopefully this could be the video game movie that gets the ground going.
This and The Last of Us, hopefully.
This and The Last of Us, yeah. But
I don't think that.
Although The Last of Us you can group in with that zombie craze that happened a few years ago, Warcraft is literally if this makes money, and Uncharted makes money, which we'll get to those later, and Assassin's Creed makes money, we will get a lot of video game movies.
That's gonna be awesome.
Which I can't wait, because they can make such good movies. And maybe someone will pull out the frickin' bank to buy the film rights to Legend of Zelda. I can dream, it's never gonna happen, but I can dream. No, it won't really work, because Link doesn't talk. How can you have a silent protagonist? Well, I guess you can. But
they'll make him talk, and then everyone will hate it because they'll be like, "That's not him."
Yeah,
so.
that reminds me of the Zelda CDI games, and those are a big no-no to bring up. Well, now we have Sony, who they announced earlier this week, because I guess they didn't want to embarrass themselves at Comic-Con, that Sinister Six is coming out 2016, and Amazing Spider-Man 3 is coming out 2018. What the hell? This makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm one of the few people you'll like meet on the internet that liked Amazing Spider-Man 2 a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it did its job of having a good groundwork for a third movie, and then have Sinister Six and Venom and the Amazing Spider-Man 4 be like the Avengers of it, and it was going to be awesome. But then they announced this, and my months of defending this movie is just totally gone, and I am nearly on the hate train. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? You don't have a plan. You don't know what's going on. How can you make a Sinister Six film from the basis of Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Yeah.
They're going to have to introduce literally 3 villains.
I just don't see that movie doing well. Like, box office, probably gonna flop. That's my opinion. I just don't see it.
My only hope of it is Drew Goddard is making it, and he picked this over the Daredevil Netflix series, and he did Cabin in the Woods. So he's writing it right now, and he's gonna direct the film. It comes out holiday-ish season, which is usually when that's like around when Thor: The Dark World came out, didn't it? November.
Yeah, it was like November.
Okay, so it's that same release date. And Thor: Dark World didn't do that well. It did okay at the box office. It did fine enough for Marvel to be happy with it.
Did better than the first.
So. Yeah. So there was an improvement, but that was the Avengers boost. Will this do well? I don't know. The Spider-Man franchise has been going downhill since the first film. Like, in terms of box office. I mean, let's be honest. We're both going to see this.
Yeah.
I'm extremely curious about how this movie can turn out.
Yeah, there's not many possibilities I see it turning out amazing, but...
Yeah. And then we have Amazing Spider-Man 3, 2018. Maybe they can have a good script by then. Especially since the people that wrote Amazing Spider-Man 2 have somehow used that to leapfrog and go on to other properties. Are there only like 10 writers in Hollywood? Like, how do these guys still get it? How do these guys keep getting jobs? I don't know. It just makes me sad. But good news is because of Amazing Spider-Man 3 being delayed, we got Uncharted got a date, which is June 10th, 2016, and I'm extremely excited because they're gonna start filming soon, and I'm like, it's finally happening. It could be complete dog shit, and I'll be really sad, but at least it's happening.
It could also be great. It could be really fun.
If
they stay true to the video games, then it could be a lot of fun.
All they have to do is just take exactly what Naughty Dog did for the games and just make it a movie.
Yep.
And you'll have an amazing action-adventure film that will probably bomb at the box office.
Yep.
I have that little faith in Hollywood. It's fucking Transformers. But that's all we have. We have a date. Apparently the script is really solid, but like what else are they gonna say? The script sucks? Come on. And then we have one of my favorite announcements they made at Comic-Con in general. Although we knew all this, yet like 1 or 2 details from like months ago. A Last of Us movie is being made. The internet acted said this was a huge revelation. It was announced like 5 months ago, or something. It was announced a long time ago. I remember doing a podcast on it, and I was like, or having a podcast topic, and I was like, they're making the movie. Naughty Dog will be very involved in development. We find out now that they have final say on casting and director. We knew it was Sam Raimi's production house. Now we know he's producing.
Wait,
What?
Did you say Naughty Dog had final say on the director and actors? Oh, okay, that's great.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's gonna be awesome. People are like, it doesn't need to be a movie. I'm like, Sony needs the money. And it'll be awesome because Naughty Dog has like creative control basically. So Microsoft still can't fucking get with Halo.
Sort of now with the TV shows at least.
Yeah, it's a TV show, but it's not about Master Chief. I could care less. At this point, that's a topic for another day. Neil Druckmann, who's creative director at Naughty Dog, will pen the script. And then the only thing we learned that I called when this news first came out, I said they're going to talk to Macy Williams and they're going to try to hire her with some money because they should get Macy Williams. She's my first pick. And they're in talk. Macy Williams is in talk to play Ellie. Tweeted out a tweet that was like, guys, that was like, wow, you guys have been heard. And then she mentioned Neil Druckmann, which means they're probably closing in on a deal. I think she'll be like a perfect casting choice for Ellie.
Yep. I mean, she has the looks, and in Game of Thrones, she shows that she can be a badass. So it works out.
Yeah, because like Ellie and Arya Stark are pretty similar characters.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at them just for face value, there's some differences in there. But they're both they're the same character basically. And one thing I found was kind of funny was not. Apparently, it's rumored that Bruce Campbell has been looked at to play Joel, and okay, but one thing I heard that was kind of funny. It's not confirmed. It was just a joke I saw on Twitter. Was they should get the person that played the Hound to play Joel.
That would be weird.
And we can finally continue it. Ari and the Hound, The Last of Us. I'm really excited about this movie. I've played the game. I love the game. I know that you played the game, right?
Yeah, love it.
I'm so excited, and I try to get my friends to play the game. They're like, I don't have a PS3. I'm borrow my PS3. They borrow it, and they're like, the game's boring. And I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Now that we're going from amazing news, The Last of Us, let's go to Paramount press conference where they announced that we already knew it was being made for like 2 years. And we knew it was 3D animation, and people still flipped out. The SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water 3D. And we would all think this is the worst thing to happen ever, except the original writing team is back from the first film.
And the original creator.
Which means this is a win-win situation. Either the movie is good, or the movie's bad and SpongeBob dies.
It won't die.
SpongeBob and Nickelodeon, hopefully, because it should not still be running.
But it will, forever.
I have some faith that, because I mean, iCarly stopped running, Drake and Josh stopped running, and Drake Bell and Josh Peck aren't doing anything right now. Like, you know what Drake Bell is going for him right now? The Fairly Odd Parents sequel. That's direct to TV.
What?
For Nickelodeon. They like 2 years ago, they made a live action for Fairly Odd Parents movie where Drake Bell played Timmy Turner. And a chick.
Never heard of it.
You shouldn't watch it. It ends with Poof rapping. Not a good movie. They're making a sequel. And I'm just like, make a Drake and Josh movie.
Wolf.
You make enough damn Fred movies. What?
Wow, my computer's just like lagging right now. I missed all of that, so it's good now, I think.
Okay, well you didn't miss much. It was more just me complaining that there's no Drake and Josh movie yet they make Fred movies.
Okay.
But I'm excited for the SpongeBob movie because it's SpongeBob and the original team back, so hopefully it's good.
Yeah, I think it will be good. I think.
The animation looks good, and they have sense of humor because their poster was a parody of the Avengers.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's funny. Especially since it wasn't Paramount that lost the MCU. It was Universal. Because I was watching Incredible Hulk today, and the Universal logo popped up. I was like, wait, what? Oh, that's right. It wasn't always Disney. That was like after Avengers, Disney got all the rights.
Sucks to be them.
No, it really sucks because they did not get the Avengers money. We have Hot Tub Time Machine 2. I didn't watch the trailer. I haven't seen the first film, but did you watch it?
I watched the first film, and I watched the trailer, and I think it might be okay. It's probably not going to be, but I don't know.
I don't know. I don't have much expectations for a movie called Hot Tub Time Machine, let alone it got a sequel.
Yeah.
So, I mean, will I see it? I don't know. Will I watch the trailer if it shows up in a local movie theater? Am I excited? No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be excited for it.
Yeah, but something that we are both extremely excited for as fellow Nolanites, Interstellar rounded out the Paramount panel where Christopher Nolan and Matthew McConaughey made their Comic-Con debuts, and they debuted a new trailer, and apparently it is incredible footage. Apparently some of the people that work at schmoesknow.com were crying in Hall H because of how amazing it looked. I'm so excited. I'm not going to watch anything because even people, because I tell people, I'm like, I don't watch trailers. Like, well, you go to movies like every day. I'm like, not every day, like every week. I'm like, okay, that's true. And then like, how do you avoid it? You just walk out. I'm like, no, I just look down and think about fantasy football. That's what I do. I watch the first 5 seconds of the trailer, and I'm like, I know what trailer it is now. And I'm like, oh, I recognize that. No. I look down. That'll be me with Interstellar. Everyone, I'll just hear all these ahs and oohs, and I'm like, nope. I will wait till November. Think about Adrian Peterson.
I wish I could do that.
What?
I wish I could do that, but I'm probably gonna watch them.
You're gonna watch it, and you'll be like, it's spoiled so much, and I'll be like, I didn't watch anything. Also, I don't know. If you have any interest in seeing Origins, don't watch the trailer, from what I've heard, because apparently it's like the whole movie.
I have no interest in seeing it. So.
Okay, well, there you go. I might as well warn you. Interstellar is Interstellar is my second most anticipated movie left this year, and I'm not counting Guardians in that because it comes out in a week. We'll get to my most anticipated later on, which the only reason this movie, I'll get to this tangent later on, actually. Is Interstellar your most anticipated movie this year? Left?
Yeah, I would say so. There's a few others, but that would probably top all of them.
It looks so good.
Yeah.
Now we're on Fox. They showed nothing from their comic book properties, or at least their own Fox MCU. There was some Fantastic Four thing leaked, like literally like a picture of the Thing. It looked dark and gritty. I don't give a shit.
So
excited. That's about it. They showed Maze Runner footage, which I actually watched the trailer of this, not the one that premiered today, but like the one they showed 3 months ago. Yeah, their trailer. It looks good, the movie. I was not expecting it to look good. I'm like, that sounds really stupid. Apparently the book is really good, and the trailer looked really good. It's another young adult adaptation, and the director said he was inspired by like Jurassic Park, Lord of the Flies, and Alien, which are 3 very good things to be inspired by.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see it.
I'll probably see it, even though I don't know a thing about it. I haven't seen the trailer.
Well, you should keep it that way. You should trust my judgment that it looks really good, and then be surprised when you see the movie.
Okay.
Something that looks like bad is Hitman Agent 47. This was the Paul Walker film he was gonna do, and he tragically died, which is really sad. And now we have, I don't know, but we have some pictures, and it doesn't look good. It looks like the guy's bald and he has a gun, and it looks like he's cosplaying and not doing a good job at it.
Wasn't there a couple other Hitman movies?
There was a Hitman movie a while ago. I don't know much about it. I could care less about this movie. I hope this is not the movie that people will judge video game movies based on. I hope they judge them off Uncharted and Warcraft. But who knows? Maybe this could be good. I'm not expecting anything, which means that's a perfect setup to be surprised.
Yeah,
Optimism.
but I'm pretty sure everyone's just gonna forget it in a few days.
It's gonna be bad. And now the next movie we're gonna cover, not Lionsgate, Fox went over, is my most anticipated movie of the year. It would have been my most anticipated movie of the year had I known it was coming out this year because I thought it was coming out 2015 for like 6 months until I realized until the trailer came out and it was like 2014. I was like, wait, what? Everywhere it looks at 2015, which I'm extremely excited. It is Kingsman Secret Service. It's the Matthew Vaughn directed movie based on the Mark Millar comic book Secret Service.
Oh, it's a comic book.
It's a comic book, so it's like one comic book thing they showed, but it's not like a comic book like franchise. I think it might be it could become a franchise, but it's not Marvel.
Yeah.
It's Mark Millar's indie thing or something. I'm not a comic book guy, so hell if I know. But apparently the footage is like amazing. Colin Farrell. That
It's not Feral, but it's like
is it Firth?
Firth. Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
right.
It's the guy from King's Speech who plays the lead.
He's
The
amazing.
reason I'm super hyped for this is because Matthew Vaughn has directed two of my top 4 comic book movies of all time, in X-Men First Class and Kick-Ass.
Isn't he also directing the Fantastic Four?
No,
Movie?
that is Chronicle director
Oh, really?
Josh Trank.
I thought I heard. Oh, okay.
No, he's producing it.
Oh, producing. Okay.
Which he also produced Days of Future Past. He was actually signed on to do Days of Future Past until he left the project for whatever reason.
Yeah, I
Fired.
remember
I'm
that.
not sure if he was fired or left, but he's doing this instead. And I actually watched Kick-Ass last night, and holy hell, that movie's still so amazing. It's so good. So it's Matthew Vaughn's next film, and that's why it's my most anticipated. Plus, Mark Hamill's in it, because in the comic book, Mark Millar drew a drawing of Mark Hamill, and he made him a character, and Mark Hamill's playing that character.
That's awesome.
Have you seen the trailer for this that came out a couple months ago or
I
anything?
don't think so. I might have watched it, but I don't remember it. But just from Colin Firth or whatever being in it, I thought he was amazing in King's Speech. So I'm excited just for that.
Yeah.
And
What's your opinion on First Class and Kick-Ass?
Both. I didn't like Kick-Ass as much as other people, but I still think it's a good movie. And First Class, I thought was great. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this, and it's not gonna make money. I know it's not gonna make money, but I'm praying that it will, cause it's gonna be great. Apparently, like the crowd went crazy because the footage was like just like Kick-Ass.
It's good.
And then this is something that I know you can't comment on because I saw it and you didn't. Best Buy had a promotion. Actually, Samsung had a promotion at Best Buy where you could go to their Samsung booth and watch the new Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 teaser trailer. And I was like, why would I go spoil myself for the movie, drive a half hour, and get just to see a trailer? And then I realized you get a free movie ticket. So I was like, okay, I'll go out there because my dad needs to go out there anyways. I drove with him, got my free movie ticket, got a free pin, and I got a poster. Saw a minute trailer. Trailer looked really solid. I'm really excited for the movie. Not going to watch anymore. It should be out sometime next week. But the trailer is pretty good if you have... It doesn't spoil anything. I remember the book. But I don't think it spoils anything beyond like, yo, they're in District 13 and Katniss is like, they're like, are you going to lead us? Or are you going to fight with us? And Katniss is like, yes. That's all it spoils. I'm really excited for the movie. I would assume you're excited for Mockingjay Part 1.
A little. I think the splitting into 2 movies was kind of dumb, but I think it's still going to be good. It'll be alright.
Yeah, it's dumb, but, you know, they have to make money. Because Divergent is not going to do that for them, most likely. Even though making Divergent 3, like 3 and 4, Stupid. I'm excited. Uh, that's about it. That's all the Comic-Con news that really came out. Uh, so now I'm gonna ask you, Jackson, what won Comic-Con? What studio?
Uh, what studio? I kind of like Legendary. I mean, the best thing at Comic Con for me was Batman versus Superman footage or whatever. But I think Legendary with the King Kong and the Godzilla stuff was my best
Yeah.
for a studio. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
just me.
plus the Warcraft footage
Oh yeah, that too.
was also legendary. For me, I will go Warner Brothers because Batman v Superman, fantastic. Hobbit sounds really cool, and Mad Max shocked the hell out of me from how cool it sounded.
Yeah, great.
Apparently, some people on Twitter that I trust that saw the footage, like they were thinking about like hours after, like it was so incredible. And apparently all the test screenings of the footage were all positive. I can't wait for Mad Max now. It has jumped up my list, most anticipated. It's not topping it by any means, because still Avengers and Star Wars, but it's up there. It's
Yeah.
up there. Okay, so we're gonna end it off soon. If you wanna go ahead and pimp your social media, if you have any, go ahead.
I'm good.
You're good? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can follow me at Apple Cow Prodigy. Tomorrow, we'll probably go over the same topics on the Movie Backlot podcast, but we'll be with Alexander and Steven. I'm not sure whose channel it'll be on. Most likely be on Steven's. Uh, look out for my Twitter for a link to that when it's live. YouTube.com/Apple Cow Prodigy. Put in the comments what you want to see besides Plants vs. Zombies, because that part will not happen. But it might. Who knows? That's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Give me your thoughts down below of what you thought of all the stories. Who do you think won Comic-Con? And I will see you guys next time.
Uh,
Bye.